buat kamu mencari yang terbaik. Fashion, gadget, sport, hobi. Temukan semua di Blibli. Gratis ongkir, 100% orisinil, pengiriman cepat. Karena kamu nomor 1.
Well, to me, all gamers are great gamers, right? Whether it's a mobile gamer, a console gamer, or PC gamer. But I do think this is an evolution of tastes. It's also an evolution of the availability of devices and things like that.
Hey man, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Wow, amazing, man. It's been a great year for esports. It's been a great 3 years for esport now in Indonesia, and the gaming scene here is rising up. Now everyone in Indonesia is, usually we always, the youth and the millennials and the Gen Z always only talks, our previous generation only talks like, hey, have you read this book, or have you watched this movie, have you listened to this album? But now the new generation is, hey, what game are you playing, man? Can we play together, dude? Because now the scene is really switching to the gaming scene, and everyone is now playing game everywhere. And I heard that Nizu said that Indonesia now is the #1 largest gaming market in Asia, with a number of mobile phone internet users that is predicted will reach 100 million.
That is
And
crazy.
Indonesian market is very sexy for Razer. Okay, I have to admit something, man. I have to admit something, that I own a Hammerhead. I own a Razer Kraken Kitty edition for my daughter.
Alright.
I have a Razer Diva because I'm an Overwatch player. And my mother-in-law gave me a Razer Firefly for my birthday
Fantastic.
gift. So I'm a big Razer family. So Min, can we discuss something, or do you want to say something before we discuss to the conference? Yeah.
No, I'm excited to be here. So thank you so much for having me over here. I'm super excited. As you've mentioned, Indonesia is one of the biggest gaming markets, for ourselves at Razer, for gamers, by gamers. We go where the gamers are, and Indonesia's got lots of gamers, so we are definitely very keen on seeing what else we can do in Indonesia for the gamers, by gamers.
Nice, man. So I'm very curious, man. My backstory is about, I'm a musician, and when I went on tour all across Indonesia, I keep bringing my consoles everywhere, and then in one point I began journeying myself to be in a startup scene and then being an entrepreneur. So before we discuss more about the gaming industry, I am a bit curious of the reason why and how you built Razer to become the world leading lifestyle brand for gamers, as your previous professional background is totally not related to gaming and tech industry, man.
Sure. Well, I've always been a gamer from day one. And I think like many of the people watching, you've got a lot of young people in Indonesia. Myself, when I was a kid, I've always been passionate about playing games. So I always like to say that I've always been a gamer first. Then, of course, my parents was like, hey, you gotta, go study, get a job, and all of that kind of stuff. So I became a lawyer. I practiced law for a while, but all the way throughout, I've been passionate about games, right? And I'm sure, many of the kids out there also get a lot of feedback. Hey, you got to be studying, get a good job and stuff like that. But gaming has always been my passion. Just like music's your passion, gaming's your passion. Gaming has always been my passion. So when I first founded Razer, back then, remember, gaming wasn't like an industry at that point of time. But today, gaming is this massive multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yes.
But gaming at that point of time was more like fun and games and stuff like that. But I said, look, this is something I really believe in. This is something I really want to build. And I said, screw it. I'm just gonna to drop everything and focus on building a company for gamers by gamers, and it became Razer, and here we are. So it's always been a passion. It's still a passion for me, and every single day, I tell myself, isn't this pretty awesome? I get to play games and have fun.
I think the best part for you is trying the new razors, all the keyboards, the mouse, the headphones, and the laptop, man. You know, I've been dreaming myself to buy one of your laptops, and I'm saving my money for that. So, according to Newzoo, bro, you know that Indonesia is the #1 largest gaming in Asia. It's very sexy, the numbers. What do you think about that, man?
Well, I think it's a great thing, and I think for many purposes. So I've visited Indonesia, Jakarta, I think in particular a couple of times. I've met many of the gamers over there. I think the gaming market in Indonesia is just getting started, right? I mean, esports is just getting started. We've got local game developers that are getting names out there. We're seeing international game companies coming to Indonesia. So I think there's a huge amount of potential. And this is one of the reasons why I think for ourselves at Razer, we've got a massive fan base in Indonesia. And what we want to do is to look at how we can cultivate, develop esports tournaments in the country. We want to cultivate esports talent, from Indonesia to play on a global level also at the same time.
Nama gue Christian Antonius, nickname gue Krypton. Gue kuliah di Min-Liang University. Jurusan gue teknik industri. Harus punya skill dan mental yang kuat. Kalau secara tim harus punya chemistry dan juga kepercayaan terhadap tim tersebut. Yang pasti bangga dan senang banget karena banyak orang yang ingin sampai sana tapi tidak semuanya bisa sampai sana, dan saya menjadi salah satunya. Untuk keluarga sih awalnya kurang terlalu support, tapi dia tidak melarang juga. Dan makin lama dari waktu ke waktu mereka jadi sangat support banget terhadap apa yang gue lakuin di dunia e-sport. Karena gue udah bisa buktiin beberapa hal seperti juara IEL, terus masuk salah satu tim besar di Indonesia meskipun cuma 5 bulan, tapi menjadikan bukti kepada mereka bahwa e-sport itu sekarang sangat berkembang dan bisa dijadikan karir.
We want to see all this kind of stuff happening and see what else that we could do, right? So I do think that gaming in Indonesia is just barely getting started. So, we're already talking about it being the one of the biggest, markets in the world for gaming, but right now, I think it's just getting started.
That's cool, man. But the fact that the growing scene is focused on the mobile gaming and the mobile esports scene. What do you think about that also, Min?
Well, to me, all gamers are great gamers, right? Whether it's a mobile gamer, a console gamer, or a PC gamer. But I do think this is an evolution of tastes. It's also an evolution of the availability of devices and things like that. So today, I think you'll see a lot more mobile gamers. You've got games like PUBG, you've got games like Mobile Legends that do incredibly well. In fact, we just brought Mobile Legends as one of the games for Razer Invitational for Indonesia. And that's a good thing. And that's because the mobile devices are just so prevalent throughout all the hands of Indonesians and stuff like that. Now, gradually, I think you'll see a lot more PC gamers. So you'll get more hardcore gamers coming through, more competitive. They want to get a mouse and keyboard and things like that. So you're going to see a lot more competitive esports with PC coming up through the years. And of course, you'll see the new consoles coming through because, and these are dedicated gaming consoles that will proliferate. So in all, I think we're just going to see so many more gamers come from Indonesia, and you're going to see all kinds of different kinds of gamers, whether it's mobile, console, or PC. And it's going to be exciting times for you and me. We're going to see all this happening in the next couple of years.
So, with that fact, how is your business growing in Indonesia, man?
Our business in Indonesia, well, it's doing really well. So I think for Razer, we've always had a huge fan base in Indonesia. It's been growing year on year. We've just appointed one of the largest distributors in Indonesia, Cinex, to kind of take our business to the next level. So we're looking to expand our number of retailers in terms of retail network in Indonesia. I hear all the time from our fans in Indonesia, where can I get this latest product? And I can't get hold of this and I can't get hold of that. I've got to go to other countries.
Yeah, man.
I apologize. We are getting a lot more distribution into Indonesia. And that's what's been happening. And of course, we want to do a lot more, right? So we are investing more in terms of esports tournaments in Indonesia. You've seen what we've done with Razer Invitational and things like that. So we want to build, for example, the number of PC gamers in Indonesia at the same time. So all that, I think we've had a great couple of years COVID has really also brought a lot of people staying home, and we've seen a lot more new fans for Razer. And hopefully we're going to see a lot more happening in the next couple of years too.
So you mentioned about COVID and the data in Indonesia, the first early month of COVID, the gaming attraction just rising up like very, very high. To be honest, man, I even bought the Razer Kitty Kraken for my daughter is during the pandemic because she needs something cool to go to school with, wearing her, doing the online school. Yeah, so like, I just buy this for her, and she's like so happy. I will send the photo for you if you don't mind.
Please do, send it over to me.
So like, how's doing in the pandemic? What happened to Razer alongside the pandemic?
Well, I think COVID is a terrible thing for the world, and I think many countries have suffered for it. But what I always like to say is that gamers, we were meant to stay at home and play games. So essentially, when the gamer said, "Oh, we've got to stay at home," no problem. All the gamers pretty much said, "We're at home right now. You can't force me out of staying at home at this point of time." So what we've seen, for example, is we've got a massive software platform at Razer. So Razer, we've got hardware, we've got software, we've got services. We saw user activity just spike up through the roof. So everybody was playing games at that point of time, keeping safe, which was great. We saw user activity go up through the roof in the US, in Europe, in Indonesia. So I think what has happened is that our business, and all this is public information at the same time, you've seen huge growth for us in the first half of the year. We've just recently announced that our revenues and our profits are going to be spiking at this point of time in the year. And I think all that's been great. I think if you're a gamer, for the fact that all of us have been staying safe, quarantined or holed up at home. So it's been a great time for entertainment companies like us at Razer. And we think for ourselves at Razer, we're also doing a great thing, keeping people entertained when they're stuck at home.
Yeah, because you keep saying that gamer are staying safe at their homes. It's actually why my wife really happy marrying me, because I don't go anywhere, man. After go to work, just go directly to my place and then just go play League of Legends in my PC, wearing Razers, like
You're all prepared for this. All the years of gaming that you've had was preparing you for the pandemic. So I'm glad gaming is keeping all of us safe.
Remember, I told you that my mother-in-law, my father-in-law gave me the Razer Firefly. Yeah. And actually, my wife bought me a PC gaming for my birthday 2 years ago because she knows that okay, my husband is safe. No girls will tease on him because he's staying home.
So that's why gaming is one of the favorite activities for wives, encouraging or even anyone with a significant others, right? The husbands like to tell their wives stay at home and play games. The wives like to tell the husbands to do that. So we're keeping families together also at the same time. So that's been awesome.
So what is your future plan for Indonesian gamers? I have to be more specific on this, man. For the mobile gamers.
Sure.
And also for the PC gamers and also for the console gamers. Do you mind if a bit more precise about to the
Absolutely.
answer?
So as I've mentioned, we do see Indonesia as one of the top markets that we're very focused on, right? So I think that's very clear for us at Razer. The growth, and it's on top of all the news reports and all of that, because even from our own data, we can see the number of Indonesian gamers not just have a lot more new gamers, but the activity is going up, and the sophistication and the kind of games that are being played is just going up through the roof. So we've got an ecosystem at Razer, and what we're doing is a couple of things. One, on a hardware level, we are going to be investing in more distribution. We're investing in getting the word out, getting more gamers to build the entire community. Two, some of our software is some of the most popular game launchers for Indonesian gamers out there. So a lot of our Cortex Mobile, which is a mobile gaming launcher, it's being used by many Indonesians out there. So we're going to be promoting a lot more of that in Indonesia. The third thing is actually our services. Now, this is where we see two things that we could do. One it's really Razer Gold, which is today the world's largest independent virtual credit for games right now. So, it's supported by Mobile Legends, it's supported by PUBG, it's supported by 33,000 different game titles out there. So we're promoting this a lot in Indonesia. We're bringing a lot more international games to Indonesia. But on the other end of the spectrum, we're also working with local game developers to see how we can get Indonesian games monetized outside of Indonesia. So that's something that we're working very closely with. We are looking to invest in a lot more incubation, in a lot more support for the local game developers. Now, that's what we're doing on an ecosystem side of things for Razer. Specifically, I think esports is something that I'm very excited about for Indonesia. So about 2 years ago, we worked very closely with the Indonesian Esports Association to bring esports as a medal sport to the SEA Games.
Nama saya adalah Kevin, saya dari Indonesia dan nickname saya di game Dota adalah Visery. Saya di sini sebagai representatif dari timnas Indonesia. Mungkin pas saya umur 5 tahun saya udah mulai main game. Saya mulai dari main Nintendo, saya mulai main dari Game Boy, PS1, PS2, dan akhirnya saya main Dota 2 pas saya SMP, yaitu Junior High School. Game ini is very good. Ada banyak hal yang dapat dilakukan, ada banyak hero, ada banyak item, dan kita harus belajar kita harus mengerti inti dari game ini. Jadi ini sangatlah menyenangkan bagi saya. Saya yakin jika saya terus memperbaiki diri saya, pada suatu hari nanti saya akan bisa menjadi pro player. Yang saya mau dari SEA Games ini adalah saya dapat memenangkan tentunya pertandingan ini dan saya dapat meraih gold medal. Kalaupun kita tidak mendapat gold medal, kita harus memberikan yang terbaik, kita harus memberikan pertandingan yang layak untuk ditonton oleh orang-orang yang nontonin kita, yang udah dukung kita.
So that was something that we did together with the Filipino kind of Olympic committee. Then last year, we decided to take it a little step further. We've also worked with the Indonesian Esports Association to bring together Razer Invitational. All right, so we had a lot of investment in terms of this throughout Southeast Asia, but also specifically Indonesia to build this up. Now, our goal, our vision, is to continue, bringing up more and more tournaments to get more and more local athletes. And something I would love to see is a local Indonesian esports athlete just dominate on a global level. So we want to be able to kind of invest in it early enough, and hopefully we'll see that in the next couple of years. So lots of things happening for Razer in Indonesia.
Because myself, with my company, been pointed out by the government to organize the Piala Presiden Esports. What is called in English? The President Cup Esports 2019 and 2022. In 2019, the only game that we are playing is only Mobile Legends. The total athlete that sign up for the competition, for the tournament, with a total prize pool around $100,000. It was Pak Jokowi, our president's idea to make that tournament. It was his idea, and they appointed us to do it. So in 2019, the total athlete that's signing up is 17,000.
Wow, okay.
Athletes. But in 2020, the total athlete that signed up is 177,000.
Wow. So the question is, how are you going to top that in 2021, right? The number of gamers are just going up.
But I hope that. But still, my biggest dream is because the second one we only play Free Fire, and then World Pro Official Soccer for console, and then one local game in PC.
Sure.
But my biggest dream is actually we want Dota to be part of the President Cup. We want League of Legends to be part of President Cup, because we totally understand that the mobile game esport is still very young. but the PC gaming scene is very, very established. That's why Dota now have a 40 million US dollar prize pool. Can you imagine if an Indonesian team won that prize pool? They don't have to go to work and play games all the time, every single day. Man. Just like OG has been winning the TI 2018 and TI 2019. I don't think that they have to play anymore. They are now filthy rich, right? But
Well,
that's my big goal, man. That's
I
my
think
big goal.
I think it's going to happen, right? I mean, I think mobile gaming is a way to kind of open up, understanding of esports and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, while $40 million at TI is great, some of the prize purses for mobile games is really getting up there. So it's not bad. And definitely PC, I think with Dota, League of Legends, Valorant coming through, we will see a lot more activity. So I'm hoping to see a lot more PC gaming happening in Indonesia too.
Yeah, man, because that's my biggest dream, to see the Indonesian flag, wave around the stage, in Shanghai maybe, in Stockholm. And but the challenge is, this is me being a gamer and an esports enthusiast. The PC scene here in Indonesia, because the eyeballs is not that big, we really hard to find a sponsorship who really wants to invest, because the main goal is not about in the eyeballs, because sometimes those sponsorship, Indonesia have a very unique sponsorship in the esports. In the North America and the European, you got Mercedes-Benz, you got Intel, right? You got Razer. But in Indonesia, we have bank, and then we have snacks, we have drinks, and then we have eye drops. Even an eye drops now jump in to the esports scene.
But that's great.
So yeah, that is great, man. That is great. But the sponsors demanding a large amount of eyeballs, right? But me as an Indonesian, being very nationalistic, I want that flag to wave in the worlds, the League of Legends worlds. So I hope that Razer in the future can support the PC scene esport in Indonesia.
Well, we definitely want to. And, you can ping me anytime. I'd love to see what else we can do, ideas and stuff like that. And I would love to see, more talent come from this part of the world, dominate on a global scale. So that's something I hope that we, two of us can really work together and invest in building that.
Min. So, Min, I want to ask you some questions. You almost answered all of my questions, actually. So, what is Razer next plan to grow in the gaming industry? Because you guys tap into Overwatch. Is there any plan to tap into other big names big titles in the gaming scene?
So, the thing for us at Razer, we've really become this lifestyle brand for gamers, right? I mean, when you see the triple-headed snake logo, people recognize Razer. To many people, if they just see black and a little bit of acid green, they immediately think of Razer and things like that. So I think what you'll see us do in the next couple of years is we're still going to be hyper-focused on gamers. But the thing is, even the definition of gamers has also kind of changed. I mean, when we started, playing in the early days, right, it was very focused, right? It used to be, predominantly male, 12 to about 25, but today, gamers are pretty much everywhere, right? You get gamers who start as young as 5 or 6, they play Roblox, Minecraft, and all that kind of stuff. You've got gamers who are in their 70s playing, things like World of Tanks and things like that. So the age of gamers is really, really expanded, right? And throughout the COVID pandemic, you get a lot more new gamers coming in because they're all staying at home playing games. Now, you get half of the gamers now male, half of the gamers now female. There are different games happening. So we at Razer, we've also been growing alongside this entire kind of wave of gamers. You've seen our business, we've been growing also, dramatically in the past couple of years. So I think what we do is that our own business is expanding. So today on a hardware level, we're number one in the world for gaming peripherals, we're number one for all the premium gaming laptops, so we're doing really well for that. Now, we're also expanding our services business. So as I've mentioned a little earlier, Razer Gold is one of the fastest growing businesses where we are really helping game companies monetize. And one of the things that we would love to see is content coming out from Indonesia, for example, that we could help them monetize in the US, in Europe, all around the world. So we know there's a lot of talent coming out of Indonesia. Now, something that we've also grown along the way is we process so many digital payments and transactions, we started processing payments for other kinds of companies. So we've actually spun off our fintech business, and today we are actually applying for digital bank licenses because we've realized that the word gamer has actually kind of evolved to become every single youth and millennial out there, because this is the primary form of entertainment for the young people today. Gaming is number one, then followed by music, and then followed by movies and things like that. So I think this is something that we will continue to invest in. We want to invest in the youth, and I know you are also doing a lot of things for the youth at this point of time, and that's why we're so excited about it. And Indonesia has one of the youngest populations in the world,
Yes.
right? So we think there's so much more that we could do in Indonesia, so I'm very excited. I would love to hear new ideas, if there's stuff that you're working on, would love to see what else we could do together.
Thank you, man. You're saying about Indonesia, very young. Yes, in 2030, we are going to have a bonus demography where there are more millennials and Gen Zs rather than the older generations.
The boomers.
Like that. So that's going to be very good for you, man. So I hope that my big dream is one day Razer will have a dedicated official store in Indonesia where I can just jump in and buy all the stuff with only Razer products in there, man.
Well, I hope so too. I was visiting Jakarta about a year ago, and a little slightly more than a year ago, and we've been looking at a lot of opportunities, I think, in Indonesia. As you've mentioned, we look at all the data, right? And the data is very, very telling. A very young population, a growing young population, a very digital population also at the same time. I think we're seeing a lot of things happening, and we're very excited about the opportunities in Indonesia, and hopefully we will open a store sometime soon.
Mungkinkah ku bayar tanpa sentuhan?
Mungkin dong, hanya HP yang kau sentuh. Bayar belanja tinggal scan QR aja.
Manusia zaman dulu dan sekarang kebutuhannya berubah. Dengan jaringan baru 4.5G Axis yang terfiberisasi, kamu bebas berubah jadi apa yang kamu mau. Terus berubah, kenapa enggak?